Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to LidLine Sports with my co-host Renault, Pepe Bean, and Otis Lil O Stevenson. I'm Granville Emerson. Thank you all for tuning in on Facebook Live and Rainier Avenue Radio .world live from Seattle. At the same time, the Seahawks are taking on the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football. So, fellas, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good.
I'm doing all right. A little under the weather still.
Yeah, you fighting a good fight, oh?
Yeah, man, I'm trying, man. I'm definitely feeling much better than I did, though, to start off the weekend.
All right, well, I want to start the broadcast off tonight with the theme is Seattle. The Seahawks are losing right now to the Saints. I think the score is 10-7 in a snoozer. If you're not interested in both teams, it's pretty much a snoozer.
Yeah.
The Seattle Kraken held their inaugural home game Saturday night at the brand new Climate Pledge Arena. I can't wait to go in that arena. Have heard great things about it. Need to figure out how we can all go together and watch a Kraken game. The Kraken are in 7th place in the Pacific Division. They're not in last.
Nope.
That goes to the Las Vegas Golden Knights. They're 1-4. And so hockey, professional hockey has returned to the city of Seattle. So we're excited about that here in Seattle. Also, I want to give a shout out to the Atlanta Braves for beating my second home is Los Angeles. So for beating my Dodgers in the National League Championship Series to go to the World Series against the Houston Astros, the beloved cheaters from Texas. I'm ambivalent about that whole thing. Any thoughts on the Dodgers Braves series or the Red Sox Astros series, gentlemen?
The Red Sox just got their butts handed to them against the Houston Astros after, I think, winning. I don't know if it was they won game 1 and game 2 or whatever it was.
They were up 2-1.
2-1, yeah. After that, they could not score. The pitching for the Astros was as great as I thought it has been all season. And the Dodgers kind of had the same effect as the Boston Red Sox, couldn't put up any runs. And over the playoffs, we saw the Dodgers' main pitchers, Walker Buehler, Julio Urias, and I can't think of the pitcher from the Nationals. Yeah.
Oh, for the Dodgers, you talking about Kelly?
Yeah. No.
Scherzer?
Yeah, Scherzer. All three of them.
They all got hurt.
Yeah. Well, all three of those guys didn't play well in the playoffs. Didn't pitch well in the playoffs. They were already without 2 starters in Clayton Kershaw. And I can't think of the other kid's name now from the Cincinnati Reds that they got too. Trevor Bauer. Both of those are already out, so they're already without 2 starters. So I think that was the downfall for them, was watching the guys that they usually who pitch well, Walker Buehler, Urias, and Max Scherzer didn't pitch well. That was it after that.
Yeah. Buehler came in on short rest, but you nailed it, Otis. The problem with the Dodgers was injuries. Their key guys got hurt at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
So, last year the Braves went up 3-1 and lost. This time they went up 3-1 and finally was able to put it through. Madsen came in and shut the Dodgers down. After the Dodgers were had the bases loaded, right? Or two on.
Yeah. He shut that whole thing down. He was out there looking like Greg Maddux.
Yeah, and he just shut him down. So, I didn't like any team in the Final Four. I didn't like any of them, but the Dodgers were the one I liked the least. I well, I don't know how to put it, but I like the Dodgers more than the other three. Put it that way.
All right, who do you guys got for the World Series?
I'm gonna go with the Braves because I can't stand the Astros, and they're in the same division with the Mariners, so I want the Braves to beat the Astros.
As hard as it to say that, I think the Astros are going to take this year. Like they look great.
Yeah, the reason why I said I'm ambivalent is I can't stand the Astros, but I love Dusty Baker, so kind of like to see him win a World Series. But I'm not for the Astros though. I'm with Pep. Anyway, back to the hometown, Seattle, in college basketball. They had an exhibition over the weekend where Duke played Villanova, two top teams in NCAA basketball. They had a little scrimmage, and the prodigy from Seattle, known as Paolo Banchero, had 29 points and 12 rebounds. Oh, is that a preview of what's about to go down in college basketball this season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what I've always said about P is that he's a great player, but he's a winner. I don't know if they won that scrimmage. All the stats take care of himself. Take care of it. So that's why I do like about like Duke with their chances going far in the NCAA tournaments. P has all the intangibles, which is why wherever he goes, he wins.
Pep?
I don't really know a whole lot about either team, but I do know about Paulo, and it's no surprise. That's what we expect. Probably going to happen a lot. He's going to, and then there's a reason why he's on the cover of the NC2A 2K. So the guy is amazing, and I hate Duke, but I'm gonna root for him to do well. And if Duke's gonna be on TV a lot, and so hey, 206, gotta love it.
Yeah, Paolo Banchero is the projected number 1 pick in the NBA draft, but with this whole NIL thing, he might have to take a pay cut. He getting his money already. He's gonna be endorsing everything. He is looking good too. His body is tight. I mean, he's looking like a specimen. Yep. And so I'm anxious to watch him play. Having coached against him the past 3 years at Bishop O'Day High School here in Seattle, is he going to be the greatest basketball player to come out of Seattle?
Hey, there's a lot of guys who got resumes, great resumes. It's tough to tell, but he's going to be a great NBA player. I know that for sure.
There's not been a more highly touted high school player to come out of Seattle than Paolo Banchero. The only one that is close in terms of the hoopla and the attention that he's getting, to me, I think, is Jamal Crawford.
I kind of think, and I could be wrong, I don't know why I feel like Martell Webster had a lot of hype coming out of high school too.
I guess because Martell went straight to the league. So, yeah, good call on that. Seattle Prep Panther alumni. You don't mean to shortchange you, Martell, but you went straight to the league. So he didn't get a chance to get all of this college hoopla that Paulo was getting, that also Jamal got. I was living in L.A. at the time, man, and it was such a big deal when Jamal went to Michigan. What was it like up here when Doug Wren went to Connecticut?
I wouldn't know.
You remember that?
I was living back east.
Okay, so you and I weren't here. Oh, it was too young to know. Okay.
I got to give you guys one more name, Brandon Roy, because when I was living back east, I had heard about Brandon Roy, and so he almost came out as a senior. I mean, out of high school, he almost went into the league right out of high school, and I had heard a lot about that. But then he decided to go to college. Then he, went there 4 years, and went to Portland. We all know his resume there. And so right now, in my mind, right now, it's Brandon Roy is probably the best to come out of the city. For me.
Okay, so
for right now.
Yeah, I remember my nephew Daryl Taylor played for Franklin High School 2003 on the state championship team with Aaron Brooks, and he made me come up here to watch them play Garfield at Key Arena, and then the next night, Tuesday night, it was a Monday night at Key Arena on King's holiday, and then the next night at Franklin High School. And they played Brandon Roy. So back-to-back nights, I got a chance to watch Brandon Roy play. And my nephew was swearing, this kid is to the league. You got to come watch him. He's to the league. I'm like, ain't you playing against him, bro? Don't give him all that. And so, yeah, he was a phenomenal high school player. For me, I'm old as dust. So for me, as another guy out of the same high school as Paulo Banchero, O'Day High School. And the first player that I know from Seattle to win an NBA championship, and that's Clint Richardson. I don't know if he still holds a state scoring record at 34.5 points per game.
He does.
And so he was unstoppable in high school. And he had offers everywhere. He could have went everywhere. He decided to stay home and go to Seattle U, of course, and pretty much a testament of how great he was going to Seattle U and still getting drafted. I think I still remember he was the 54th pick of the NBA draft by the Philadelphia 76ers and won a championship with Dr. J. So Paulo Banchero, waiting to see what he's going to do on the NCAA landscape, and then 1 year, and then he'll be in the NBA. Pep, let's segue to the NFL. We got a lot to talk about in the association, and so let's hit that NFL right now. What you got?
Well, we got who they?
Who they said they're going to beat them Saints? Who they?
No, that's who that.
No, who they said they're going to beat them Bengals?
Yeah.
Yes, who that? Said they're going to beat them Saints. Who they said they're going to beat them Bengals?
Right. Who they? They're 5-2 and in first place in the AFC North. And when they went into Charm City, which is Baltimore, and crushed them 41-17.
Knocked all the charm off it.
Knocked all the charm off them. So, are the Ravens frauds? Well, of course not. They're not frauds, but, Cincy might be better than people thought.
Pep, I discounted Cincinnati 2 weeks in a row and did not pick them, and they won both games convincingly. And so, yeah, they've got my vote.
And they got a duo right now with quarterback Joe Burrow and wide receiver Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase. And they might be the most dynamic duo going right now. Chase has the most receiving yards through 7 games in league history for a rookie. Is he a top 5 receiver right now? Well, if you ask the Magic 8 Ball, signs point to yes, because this cat is balling.
Yeah, he is.
And Joe Burrow isn't just using Chase. He's got tight end Uzoma, who's played well. They took Green Bay to overtime, if you remember, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
They beat Minnesota, so they've beaten some quality teams.
Should have beat Green Bay.
They should have beat Green Bay. Yeah.
Yeah, they should have. All them doggone field goals, that both teams missed. So they're 5-2, and they're playing well, so they look pretty good. So hats off to them. Now, did I mention a fraud? Believe it or not, I think I'm not the only one speculating this, but I think the Kansas City Chiefs might be in that fraud territory.
Ooh. Well, yeah, considering they were picked to go 17-0.
Yeah. Right now they're 3-4. The defense is hovering near Seahawk level, bad, and now the offense is stinking it up just as much. Mahomes is taking a lot more hits. They don't have a running game, so he's got to take more chances, and it's not working out. So Tyreek Hill's dropping balls. Travis Kelce is taking plays off. He looks like he's getting old. They're not out of it by any stretch because they're only 3-4. It's still early, but they certainly can forget. We can certainly not think that they're going to make the Super Bowl for a third time in a row. That right now is out the window to think that that's going to happen. They lost to the Chargers, the Bills, and now the Titans. So they lost to AFC teams that will likely be in the playoffs. So they won't have any kind of home field whatsoever. Anytime if they do make the playoffs, they're going to have to hit the road. And so things don't look good for them right now.
Yeah. Kansas City, I feel like they got behind in the standings, and now they're like trying too hard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they just need to settle down and do some simple stuff well for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it could be a little hangover too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's difficult. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. It's difficult. I mean, they have a brand new offensive line that includes 2 rookies and 3 acquisitions. And so they have to gel. They have to learn how to work together. And, Patrick Mahomes is getting the full Russell Wilson experience right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Where he doesn't have a clean pocket to throw out of. And we know that changes things.
Definitely.
And so he's trying to force stuff where he shouldn't be trying to force it, and he's thrown like 9 interceptions already this year.
Yep. So yeah.
Oh, your thoughts?
That Kansas City's not the only team with issues, and I'm talking about Super Bowl potential contenders. Right down the road on I-5, San Francisco is looking pretty fraudulent right now. I've said many times that Garoppolo is just not that guy, and he's proven it every week. Now they're not winning at all. They've lost 4 straight. They haven't won a home game. Check this out. They haven't won a home game since October of 2020. Jeez. I mean, wow. When I saw that stat, I was like, what? But yeah, they haven't won since they beat the Rams in October of 2020. Now, is Kyle Shanahan on the hot seat?
Well, I was getting ready to say, is it Kyle Shanahan that's really the fraud?
Well, I know one thing.
Because he's been much ballyhooed.
Yeah.
His confidence he has in Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't get it at all.
Nope. Nor do I. I don't get it. Look, when Garoppolo went to the Super Bowl, and I said this on the last couple of shows, people remember, they won because they had a superior run game. He didn't have to do anything but hand off and occasionally play action to Kittle or to Debo. That's
they had
it.
A superior defense.
Right, and they had a superior defense. Correct. Right now, the defense is okay. They're not superior as they were, but the running game isn't the same. And Garoppolo's not the guy that can just sling it. They're already complaining about Brandon Ayuk, that he's not doing his part. So they got they're slinging mud at guys now, and Trey Lance is going to need some time. So it's good.
Yeah, Trey Lance is not the answer right now either. So,
no, so they're in trouble.
So yeah, they are in trouble. So it seemed like they fell apart. And we all were wondering, like, what were they doing when they didn't re-sign DeForest Buckner?
Right.
Right. And to me, that was the beginning of their decline. I mean, they were just in the Super Bowl, 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
Yep, 2 years ago.
So, yeah.
So anyway, I got my top 5 right now in NFL. I got Arizona, Rams, Tampa Bay, Green Bay, and Buffalo.
Wait, did I hear Tennessee in there anywhere?
I don't have Tennessee in my top 5.
Say what now?
Who are you taking out? Who are you taking out?
They spanked Buffalo. I'm taking Buffalo out.
I'm not taking
Buffalo out. Have you not watched the Titans play lately?
did
I
not
can't
rank
You're
Buffalo.
judging them
can't
on when
take
they play the
Buffalo.
Seahawks.
Buffalo has been one of the more top 5 consistent teams. Tennessee didn't start out.
No. Hey. Okay. We'll see what happens. Tennessee might end up in the Super Bowl.
They might. Listen, I said for right now. This is top 5 right now.
But Tennessee
It's
might
not
end up
top
in the Super Bowl.
5 November, December. Relax, okay? Listen, Tennessee still has a suspect.
How can we put teams up?
Tennessee has a suspect defense still,
what's
right?
Buffalo's record?
What? Buffalo's
What is
2. Buffalo's 4-2.
What is Tennessee's record?
Bro, they lost on a field goal. They didn't get blown out.
What is Tennessee's record?
5-2. What's the big deal?
And they beat Buffalo. So how do you have them?
And they barely beat the Seahawks.
Yeah, barely beat the Seahawks.
How are they looking at the Seahawks in the first half?
We're going off record and head to head. You got them ranked and they lost to them. That does not compute in my brain.
It mattered. Yeah.
Blew out by the Cardinals.
Who got blew out by the Cardinals?
Tennessee.
Was that week 1?
They barely beat the Jets.
That was week 1.
They barely
lost
beat the Jets. Oh, they lost to the Jets. So yeah, I can't put a team in the top 5. They lost to the Jets.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. You said they lost to the Jets. What can I say?
Good stuff. I know people are like, yeah, this is good. This is what we want. Yeah.
They're coming on now though, and coming on strong.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
They got Derrick Henry throwing touchdown passes.
Right.
They've looked good ever since I lost to the Jets, though. Definitely.
Watch out now. It was so embarrassing. They're like, hey, what the hell? You better get it together.
You beat Buffalo, but lose to the Jets. That don't make sense. But, that's the NFL week to week. We know that.
Yeah.
But that's all I got right now.
Well, how about the Giants yesterday, though?
Oh, man. Oh, I do got one more thing before you get to the Giants. I want to say rest in peace to NFL official Carl Madsen, passed away en route home from Nashville following the Chiefs and Titans game. There was no cause of death reported, and he was 71 years old. So shout out to his family. Rest in peace, Carl Madsen.
Yeah, that's a very sad situation. Did he die like in transit or when he got home?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. The last report I got, he was en route. He was on his way home from the game and died pretty much right after the game.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, those are one of those things like, at least he died doing what he liked doing. You know what I mean? Prayers to his family and friends, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no consolation to them, but I guess when they think about it, they'll get to that conclusion.
I got a football question for you guys. The Deshaun Watson sweepstakes is heating back up since the trade deadline. Yeah. Where do you guys think he might end up?
He's going to end up in Miami.
Okay.
I don't care what Brian Flores said last week that he's sticking with Tui, but he's going to end up in Miami. Even though now he says he's open to going anywhere, of course he is. But
well, good for him. But I kind of agree with G. Yeah, I think Miami's probably the best destination for him. They got a good offense. They got weapons.
They need somebody to throw the ball accurately.
Yeah.
That's not. Maybe it's his ribs, but like I said, I watched Tui in London, and it just wasn't happening for me. I was like, he has some good statistics, but he missed a lot of key throws that have won the game for him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they're probably regretting not drafting Justin Herbert.
So anyway, yesterday I picked 2 losses in my pregame predictions, and one of them I had the Panthers pick to beat the New York Giants.
Who didn't?
And the Giants smacked them 25-3. What in the world, in the name of Daniel Jones, was the Giants doing yesterday?
Well, he was catching one-handed passes for one.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
Odell Beckham.
He did his channel Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
This is the full Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
Here it is right there. Oh, there's Daniel Jones. That's him throwing. So if we're talking about frauds, what about the Panthers QB?
Yeah. You know, the Panthers started off 3-0 and they've lost 4 in a row since.
Yeah,
they're definitely fraudulent.
Yeah, because Sam Darnold has returned to the real Sam Darnold.
Well, they're talking about looking at Deshaun Watson themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm sure they are after they realize Sam Darnold is the real Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
They gave up so much to get Sam Darnold. Like, are they able to even do that?
Yeah. I mean, the Washington football team should be looking at him too.
Right.
Although they got enough problems of their own with workplace problems.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he won't be a distraction to them since they are already going through it.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know, but
and then Tyrod Taylor is going to be back in Houston starting.
Yeah. Because I saw him on the sidelines yesterday. I was like, Tyrod, you just out there collecting a check for 2 years in a row. Like, when are you going to stay healthy, bro?
Yeah.
Like, really? I was trying to figure out the other game that I did not win yesterday. Anyway.
Maybe Raiders Eagles?
No, I had that. It was I can't think. Oh, of course. The Bengals and the Ravens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Joe Burrow is getting it done. And like you said, they're a team to be reckoned with. So that AFC North is looking pretty tough.
It is.
And so we got a good battle.
Got back on track Thursday, you know. So
yeah. The Bengals are 5-2, the Ravens 5-2, the Browns 4-3, and Pittsburgh 3-3.
Yep.
So that's so much for the NFC West or AFC West too. That's the toughest division of football right now.
Yeah, it sure does.
All right, we're gonna take a break, pause for the cause, pay some bills, go get a drink of water, eat some cheesecake, something.
Ooh, I like that.
Hey, we appreciate everybody for listening and watching us right now, even though Seahawks game is going on and it's Monday Night Football. You are watching and listening to LidLine Sports on Facebook Live, Rainier Avenue Radio.world, Twitch, YouTube, and all of our podcast platforms. Don't go away. We'll be right back with Otis and the NBA right after these messages. Don't go away.
Here with the Rainier Avenue Radio traffic update. You can listen to us in your car 24/7 anytime by downloading the free TuneIn app. Once you do, search Rainier Avenue Radio. And remember, do not curse out your fellow drivers. This has been your Rainier Avenue Radio traffic update.
If you or a family member are 55 or over and need nursing home level care, but want to keep living where you are, check out Providence Elder Place PACE. This program offers healthcare, housing, transportation, and recreational activities. There are no co-pays or deductibles, and it's covered through Medicare and Medicaid. Providence Elder Place PACE works to keep you healthy and in your home. Call 206-320-5325 or visit providence.org, Elder Place. Providence.org, Elder Place.
Rainier Avenue Radio presents All Music, All Day Saturday. Music, All Day Saturday.
This is Edwin Bailey, Bulldog Blue.
Jazz from the Cabinets.
That's right. It's time once again for Jazz from the Cabinets with Big Poppy.
Start Time.
Thanks for tuning in. My name is Paul Pierce.
This is Start Time.
Saturdays, all music, all day. Reggae Hour, K-Fox Night.
Looking for the perfect beat? Yeah, it's the beat of the box.
Fresh Juice, D-Money in the group.
Myself, D-Money. Nice Size Patrol.
This is Cincy, the Northwest Rap Game.
DJ Medina, Chad Cheddar, Northwest Rat,
Sergio Lacour's Love Line.
It's Sergio's Love Lines with Sergio LaCour. Go to the phone lines. Hello, who we talking?
Sea Monster Radio. Mo Jams is your jam.
We're live. Welcome to Mojo Mondays. This is KZ of KZ Music Media. Caller Goddess for Mojo Mondays.
Just my opinion. God is inspiration all day and all night. Saturdays on Rainier Avenue Radio.
Listen up, y'all. It's a Halloween Day event. Are you wanting to participate in a trick-or-treat wonderland? Well, on Sunday, October 31st, 2 to 5 p.m., Champs Resource and Service Center and Urban Impact want to collaborate with you and many other partners, residents, volunteers, local businesses, churches, and organizations to host the 7th annual Boo Bash at the beach. Where? Well, the Rainier Beach Community Center is where, and there are many ways you can support, so visit rbboobash.org/support for more information. rbboobash.org/support for more information on the 7th annual Boo Bash at the beach.
Rainier Avenue Radio, your community radio station, provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
Hey, welcome back to LidLine Sports. I'm Granville Emerson, along with my co-host Renault, Pepe Bean, and Otis Lil O Stevenson. And we're going to talk about what's been going on in the association after they tipped off their 75th year of hooping this week. Oh, you're on mute. Unmute yourself, brother. You got stuff to talk about.
I don't know. I kind of stopped doing that. But yeah, 75 years in the NBA. And that was followed by the top 75 players list that was revealed by the NBA for the 50th anniversary a while back. They did top 50 players. This list was, of course, I think with just social media being as big as it is now, it was so subjective. There's so many different opinions thrown all over the place. I always think this type of stuff is fun. It's fun to talk about with everybody. And there's a few names that a lot of people were talking about that were left off the list. Some players that were put on the list that were new: Kevin Durant, James Harden, LeBron James, of course, Stephen Curry, were some names from this generation that definitely stood out.
Klay Thompson was heated that he wasn't on the list, huh?
Who?
Klay Thompson.
Yes, Klay Thompson was one of those guys who spoke up about it on social media. And the Warriors, Steph Curry and Draymond Green made a little joke with him, and he came in the next day with this number 77 practice jersey. They were throwing some jokes his way. Another name that was thrown around a lot was Dwight Howard. And that was one of the names I
don't think Dwight should be on it. What? For what?
Well, I mean, I honestly, if you ask me, he is definitely top 10 defensive players that ever played this game. He was also the number one option. He has plenty of accolades. I think the only thing that's
there's nobody on the list that doesn't have plenty of accolades.
And like I said, top 10 defensively is what I think puts him over the top.
Okay.
I think defensively is what puts him over top, especially over. I mean, I think a name a lot of people have said, even since he's been on the top 50 list, is Bill Walton. I would take Dwight Howard over Bill Walton.
Well, I agree. I would take him over Bill Walton, but I wouldn't take him over Bernard King or Tracy McGrady and people like that.
Tracy McGrady is definitely debatable, but I can understand. And Bernard King, I thought should have definitely been on.
Or Dennis Johnson.
My guy, right? That was my guy right there. That's off. That shouldn't be off, and that's Bernard King.
A lot of people,
DJ Dennis Johnson.
That's another good one. That's why a lot of people forget a lot of these older guys that play. They only talked about the T-Mac. And then, Kyrie Irving, I don't think should have been mentioned in the top 20, top 75 yet. I don't think his accolades say top 75. He is a talent. Maybe based on talent alone, you got a conversation. But then, you have a name of Damian Lillard, who did make that top 75 list. And I kind of did agree with the questions is what has he done?
Yeah, I agree.
What is his overall resume for him to be a top 75 player?
Yeah, I agree.
I think he got a lot of reason why.
Is he even top 10 in the league? Is Damian Lillard top 10 in the league?
No, right. I think he's a killer. Yeah, and he's probably
he's a great player, but he's not super great.
Yeah, like I wouldn't put him in the names of the Allen Iversons and a lot of other elite guards that are in that top.
Oh, no, you can't. I mean, because AI took a team on his back to the NBA championship. Literally. He put the Sixers. Who else was on that squad? He took
Eric Snow, Dikembe Mutombo,
Aaron McKee.
Aaron McKee.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very subjective. I know, Pep, you said you felt like Bernard King. What name did you think was missing, G?
Oh man, a lot of people could have been on the list, man. Spencer Haywood could have been on the list from Seattle Supersonics. He's one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and I keep saying this, that it is utterly ridiculous to me that I don't think that people really get the magnitude of the fact that he made the Olympics team playing for junior college. That's incredible.
Yeah,
right? Not to mention
he was 18 years old.
Not to mention that he had to sue to play in the NBA. He was being introduced at other arenas on the road as an illegal player.
Wow.
Because he did not you had to go to school for 4 years to go to the NBA, and he went to the ABA after his sophomore year of college, and then left the Denver Rockets and went to the Seattle Supersonics. So they were calling him an illegal player. He had to go to the Supreme Court. So he is the father of free agency.
Yes.
And how is he not a top 75 player? He changed the league, and he's not top 75?
Good point.
That's crazy. Yep.
Totally agree.
Yeah, that was some fun to start off the regular season. But then all that went away. We have some hoop this week. Started off, we got to see the Milwaukee Bucks get their big old championship rings.
Is it a ring or a pendant?
That thing is huge. It turns into a pendant
around your neck.
Yeah, that thing was huge, but very much deserved. Some notes I took away from the first week. I wanted to definitely talk about the Chicago Bulls. We all, said our piece about the Chicago Bulls, and we all felt that they were going to be much improved. And so far, it's paying off. They're the only team that's 4-0 to start the regular season. I thought besides
what are the Timberwolves? Are they still 2-0?
Well, they just lost to the Pelicans today.
Okay.
Yeah. But I thought that the Bulls' fluidity of all these new players they brought in. I thought that they looked really good besides that first half of their first game against the Pistons. I actually watched that whole game, but I think they're playing with them. The crazy thing is Zach isn't even playing he's not playing at an elite form yet. I think he's still getting into habit of coming back from having a short offseason this year, playing in the Olympics. But Alex Caruso has been a great piece for them. The Warriors, I think, you said that they're going to be really good this year and could be contenders. Steph Curry has picked up right exactly where he has left off. But he also has a little bit of help with Jordan Poole, who developed over the summer this season or this offseason, and he's playing really well for them. So those guys, and then the Milwaukee Bucks, the Miami Heat, and the Utah Jazz, they've all gotten off to pretty solid starts. Like I said, those are teams that you are looking forward to playing really well in the second half of the season, but it's good to see them off to good starts. Now, what we all want to talk about is the teams that are kind of playing mediocre right now. My Suns are 1-2. Their only win was against the Lakers, but then got mollywopped in Portland against the Blazers on a back-to-back. But the Lakers lost their first 2 games. They kind of let off the brakes against the Golden State Warriors in their first game. And then they turned around and played the Phoenix Suns, and they got blown out. But there was a little bit of controversy there. We all seen in a timeout in the second quarter, Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis got into a little shoving match. Let alone with the Lakers already not having won before this point. What do you guys think so far about what's going on over in La La Land?
Before you get to that though, I just want to make a correction. Zach LaVine is leading the Bulls in scoring.
Oh yes, for sure.
6.7 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, and 4.7 assists.
I guess when I'm like watching him play, like Zach, and I guess maybe as maybe to your point too, is Zach has more help. So I guess like that killer mode, like Zach, that we were seeing all last year. So you're right.
Yeah. Well, you just want him to score 40 and 50 every night.
Hey, I think he has a decent chance of maybe getting some
he doesn't have
continuity.
Yeah, he doesn't have to, which is a good thing. But I think, like I said, coming off the Olympics, I think he's ready to lead the team into the playoffs.
Okay.
And be that dude. I think he's ready. I think that tutelage that he got from Popovich, what I saw him do for the first time is buy into really playing defense and being a defender as well as an offensive threat, which is key. And it's one of those things that once your teammates see you doing that too, then they buy into playing defense too. And so I just wanted to bring that up. Pep, your thoughts on the opening week, or answer O's question before I get to it?
Yeah, I guess you want to talk about the Lakers for a minute. I'm not a Laker guy, so any adversity they have, I'm kind of like chuckling. But overall, I think they'll be fine. I'm not too worried about what they're going to do. It's no surprise. But when you got LeBron and AD, and if they're both healthy, they should be fine. I don't like the chemistry. I don't like Westbrook on that team. I like Westbrook. I don't like him for this team. I think they might have been better off getting Buddy Hield for the Lakers rather than Westbrook. But time will tell. I could be wrong, but I thought that Buddy Hield might have been a better fit.
Yeah, I'm just on a wait and see deal with the Lakers. I'm just waiting to see how it all comes together. They looked better last night than they did in the first 2 games against Memphis. LeBron reminds me of myself in this way. He's old as heck, and now he's just shooting threes.
He's late.
And I was watching the game last night. I was like, I see you, Bron. You trying to make it through 82 games. And that's how you do it. You just shoot threes. Like, I tell kids when I was playing hoop with them, I'm like, I am not driving the ball to the basket because I'm not getting hurt. Just shooting threes. And his 3 ball's looking kind of nice so far. And so shout out to LeBron for being in the gym and getting his 3 ball working. I like the fact that Kent Bazemore came in and made shots last night. They need him to play like that. And Melo was amazing last night. He was young Melo. And Pep, if you remember, maybe 3 or 4 years ago before LaMelo went to Portland and nobody really wanted Melo. You remember that?
Yeah.
And what did I say? I said if Melo can buy into being a 6-man and a knockdown shooter, right? Catch and shoot, knockdown shooter, and now they give him little opportunities to play in the ISO game too, right?
Yeah,
he could be effective, and that is bearing itself out right now. He's got a whole new life to me in the NBA.
Agreed.
The other side of that is, like I said, I don't know what is going to happen with Russell Westbrook. I guess they're finding their way with him. They're finding their way with their rotations, all the players they got. And so I don't know. So we'll see going forward. I thought the first two games they looked old and young. Them young dudes is blowing right by him. And so I was expecting them to play up tempo, and they're just playing a whole lot of half court ISO. And I don't know if that really didn't work, and I don't think it works against a team like Golden State that moves the ball and gets open shots, and you're playing ISO basketball, hoping a dude can make a tough shot. I don't think that's championship basketball.
I agree. And to your credit, I do think they are trying to play up tempo, and it did work yesterday against the Memphis Grizzlies. And I thought Russell Westbrook played his best game yesterday too. He was setting the table for DeAndre Jordan, Anthony Davis, getting everybody involved, which is what he always has been as an elite playmaker. I don't think he's going to be a 20-point scorer with the LA Lakers. I think he is here to play making and get easy shots for DeAndre Jordan, Anthony Davis, and all the other shooters.
I think Westbrook's got to change his game a little bit, like you mentioned about Carmelo buying into his role. I think Westbrook might have to do some kind of similar thing to be on a winner, like the Lakers. Like, he's been putting up crazy stats, but he's been on losers. The Wizards, the Rockets, and them. So they've needed that. His latter moments at OKC as well. So they've needed that, but they don't need that in LA. He can provide some of that when necessary, but that doesn't have to be in every game situation. He needs to be more of a setup guy, like you guys said. So if he can acclimate his game to that, I think he'll be much better off. The Lakers will be much better off as well.
I agree. Thank you. You can't overreact after 1 week in the NBA. It's such a long season for any team. I guess there's one thing though that maybe I'm overreacting about, and there's been a little news about it. Young star for the New Orleans Pelicans, Zion Williamson. You guys may have noticed he did not suit up this week in training camp. It was reported that his weight was at around 300 pounds. After he broke a bone in the summer, which it never hit the news that he broke a bone and that he got surgery for it. And then David Griffin during preseason said that he should be ready by the beginning of the regular season. He's not here. And his timeline has now been pushed back a few weeks. I watched, there's a commercial with him. The boy, he looks 300 pounds in that commercial.
For sure.
I am a little worried with him being a young star and almost a face of the NBA. Are you guys a little worried about his health moving forward and longevity?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. When I read that, I definitely, and when I saw that commercial with him and Zach, I was like, I was taken aback. I was like, what? At first, I thought it was a CGI of Zion, I couldn't believe that's what I was looking at. But yeah, that's him. And you doggone right, I'm worried. He's young, right? And he shouldn't be this irresponsible with his weight. I mean, what are the strength and conditioning guys doing? I mean, I understand that he broke a bone, right? But why is he breaking a bone in his foot? Maybe because he's too heavy, So, yeah, I'm definitely concerned because he needs to lose a ton of weight. And we know that's not going to happen this season. This season's probably going to be a wash for the Pelicans and maybe even for him because he's got to get it together probably for next year because, he's just way too heavy. It kind of reminds me of Tractor Trailer, if you guys remember him and his weight issue. So, and he couldn't get away from him. I don't want Zion to have that kind of thing to carry over. And I don't want it to be a constant for him in his career, his weight. I mean, that's because that could derail you as far as your confidence and how you play and how teams look at you if you want, for future time. So, yeah, to me, it's a big concern.
For me, it's not a concern unless it becomes habitual like Tractor Trailer. If he comes back and through his rehab, whatever, loses weight, and returns to form, it'll be fine. If he doesn't, then, there's a problem. If he comes back and he's playing heavy, there's a problem. His issue is he lives in the wrong city. It's hard to lose weight in Orleans.
Yeah.
He needs to play
thought
for
about
Phoenix.
the same thing.
Can you come to the West Coast?
Yeah, play for Phoenix. Maybe not even Phoenix. Maybe too much Tex-Mex might get him in Phoenix. maybe Minnesota somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, not New Orleans, because all that sauce is not helping them lose weight. You know that.
All them beignets.
My power rankings week 1 starts out with the Utah Jazz rolling along 2-0, followed by the Milwaukee Bucks, last year's champions. They are 2-1.
You got the Utah Jazz number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mainly because they were a top team last year and they are undefeated so far.
Okay.
The Golden State Warriors are number 3. I think that they've been the funnest and they played the best basketball right there with the Chicago Bulls. I got the Denver Nuggets at number 4, who are 2-0, and then Chicago Bulls. Let's see how long they can stay in my power rankings. They are right there, 5. No LA, no Phoenix, no Brooklyn. Another team who's been up and down. Let's see how long they can last without Kyrie. But yeah, none of those heavy hitters are in my top 5 yet.
Okay, so Pep, give your thoughts on the top 5 before I get to it.
Well, I've only watched a couple of games. Like I saw the Knicks the other night when they played Boston, the first game. That game was fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
But then they blow out Orlando, and then they get beat by Orlando the very next day. So I don't get that at all.
Mm-hmm.
We know that Miami blew out Milwaukee. So I'm kind of wondering how they're number 2 when they got beat by point. I know it's early, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I can't really argue too much with that. It's the first week, and Utah's played what, 2 games?
2 games.
All right. Okay. Gee, I know you got lots. So go ahead, man. You're just chomping.
No. I was just trying to figure out how Utah gets to be number 1 and they beat the Kings and the Thunder.
Oh yeah, and we know the Thunder. Hey, real quick, the worst team in the league will be.
Yeah, it might be the Thunder because they got blown out by the Rockets. Maybe the Magic. One of those 3 teams. I know that.
Listen,
yeah, one of those 3 teams
blown out by everybody.
So how is the Utah Jazz number 1 in your power rankings after beating 2 powder puffs?
Well, one, I'm gonna say they handily beat OKC like they're supposed to, and then maybe a little credit to the Kings. I think the Kings are going to be much.
They barely beat the Kings.
I think the Kings will be much improved. And you're right. I'm giving.
So why are you disrespecting the Milwaukee Bucks?
They lost. They got blown out.
They lost after the game after their ring ceremony.
Huh?
They lost the game after their ring ceremony. You knew they were going to lose that.
You don't get blown out, though. You don't get blown out.
You knew that you're either losing on ring ceremony or losing the next game.
I can't have number 1. I can't have number 1 with a loss on the record, though.
It's only they're 3-1, and nothing against the bums.
Hey, just like Pep said, this is.
I would agree. I would agree if you had Golden State number 1. They're 3-0, Otis. 3 with the win over the projected favorite, the Lakers.
Yep, in LA.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Maybe I'm knocking them a little bit because they didn't make the playoffs last year. Maybe I'm knocking them a little bit. Like I said, you get a little bit.
This is the 3rd NBA season in a year and a half. Come on, we're on the 3rd season. It's like episodes now.
Yeah.
Week to week, it'll be. I'm pretty sure after this week, it'll be.
I'm just messing with you, man. Good job, great job as well, Pep, on NFL frauds.
What's the Seahawks game?
Huh?
What's the score of that Seahawks game?
Hey, it's 10. It's 10-10. It's Pete Carroll. We want to run the ball. We only got 10 points. This game is whack. But
It is.
now I want to stick with the NBA and end up on that. I watched John Morant last night hit the Lakers for 40 with all kind of crazy whoop-de-doop-de-doop shots he was doing. Whatever he wanted to do, nobody can stay in front of John Morant. I haven't seen anything like it since Allen Iverson. Ronda Dorsey, what are you talking about? It should be 6-10. Oh, chicks. That's what you call the Seahawks. Okay. It should be, but it ain't. Did the kicker miss 2 field goals, Rhonda? I've been watching. I saw him miss 1. But anyway, John Morant had 40. Nobody can stay in front of him. It was too bad he couldn't make 3 straight free throws to help him out last night, but it didn't happen. So who are some of your favorite players to watch this season, Otis and Pat?
For me, one name I spoke about before, LaMelo Ball, and I've already got to watch him play twice.
Let me say this too. When you brought up LaMelo Ball, I've been meaning to say this. Pep, what did I tell you about LaMelo Ball before he came into the league? Do you remember?
Well, yeah, he told me he was legit.
Yeah, and I was wary about it.
What I actually said was, as soon as he's able to shoot the NBA 3, he's going to be nasty. He's a good 3-point shooter. He just needs to be able to shoot at that range. He's there. Right. And he's a problem.
Yeah, right, LaMelo. I'm excited to watch Kevin Porter get an opportunity with Houston. John Morant, of course. And then another player, even though I know he's already a superstar, but I really like to see Luka Doncic play. So he's still young. I want to see what step he's going to take.
No Tyler Hero?
He had to show me after inconsistent he was last year.
Okay. He's come out balling, though.
He has. He definitely has.
Yeah, Hero is going to be my first mention because he's been balling. And, so definitely because he's been backing up what he's been saying. He was mad because he wasn't mentioned as far as, the John Morants and Donovan Mitchells and things like that. And so he's come out, saying, hey, I'm a heavy hitter too. So, so I've been looking at him. Of course, Trae Young, with Atlanta, I wanted to see what he does, in repeat of his wonderful playoff performance he had this past season. And I'm waiting to see Cade Cunningham when he gets on the floor with Detroit Pistons. I can't wait to see him and what he's all about.
Yeah. Bless you again, O. I'm glad we're on Zoom with all this. Not Zoom, but I'm in my house and you in yours. But some of my players to watch. Of course, LeBron James. He's my favorite player to watch. To me, he's just doing what he's doing is incredible at his age, and so he's one of my favorite players to watch. The kid in Atlanta, I've loved him since college. What's his name? The guard, point guard.
Trae Young.
Trae Young, yeah. Trae Young, and of course John Morant. Steph Curry is amazing, and so those are the people I'm looking forward to watching this season, and so we'll see how it all pans out and what happens. We got to go. It's been fun. Thank you, Pep. Thank you, O. You guys are fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. And we'll see you next week right here on LidLine Sports. Sports as we see it from
just below our lid.
Holla.
Seahawks in field goal range.
I go work like a doctor when I